What's going on, YouTube world? I've been tagged by one of my favorite people, Steve Benway. I will have a link in this video to his channel. He has excellent work there. He's a very soft-spoken, laid-back dude. It's a great channel to go check out at the end of the day if you just want to sit down, watch some videos, crack a beer open. I strongly recommend you check out stevebenway.com. But Steve, unfortunately, I'm going to have to twist up the tag that you sent me. I already did a video showing my 3 favorite game systems of all time. I got tagged by, at the time, Deadman72579, now known as Deadman Gaming. So here is what I'm going to do. I'm going to speak about all 3 current generation consoles, talk about their plus sides and their negative sides, and at the end, I will give my personal opinion out of the 3. If you only could have one, which one should you get, and I'll explain why. So I'm going to start this off by talking about the PS3, and this is being done in no particular order. I'm not favoring any console in terms of which one I'm talking about first. Honestly, I'm talking about the PlayStation 3 first because it's the one I have the least experience with because I've only had one for 48 hours. So here we go. The PlayStation 3, first off, is an incredible piece of technology, and it is an incredible piece of hardware. You could see the quality that went into, well, at least the fat one anyway. I have the 60 gigabyte fat model. The attention to detail, the all-around multimedia experience you get with the PlayStation 3 is probably the best out of all 3 consoles. You have the Blu-ray experience, you know, the games that are actually exclusive to the PlayStation 3 are excellent. The third-party titles, they usually get, Sony usually gets most of the third-party titles that Xbox gets, and there's really no difference between those. But they do have amazing, from what I've played, I've tried a few of them, exclusives, and that is definitely a motivation to get a PlayStation 3. The thing I have to say too, and I have played enough of it to say, is I tried Resistance Fall of Man online, and I've tried it for hours, and I haven't had any lag issues. It's not as robust as Xbox Live, but I hear a lot of people complaining about lag. I haven't had that personally, but for argument's sake, I will admit that, you know, my PS3 is literally 6 inches away from my wireless router, so maybe that's the reason why. So, as an all-around multimedia machine, especially if you're looking to get into a Blu-ray player, a good Blu-ray player, not a bargain bin, you know, Walmart special, you're going to be in the same price range as a PS3, you might as well get the PS3. Because not only will you get an excellent Blu-ray player, you'll get a excellent gaming machine. Now the negative sides of the PS3. One is that it does not get as many good titles as the Xbox 360 because it's not as popular. It's starting to gain in popularity now because of the huge price drop that it got, but you know, Sony really dropped the ball with the PlayStation 3 by making it to the point where you have to take out a home equity loan to get one when it originally launched, and that hurt them big time. And what another thing that I think that Sony did, and what a fatal mistake they made, is they underestimated the power of the Xbox 360. I think when they brought out, you know, the whole cell architecture and the custom RSX chip made by NVIDIA, they thought they had a huge jump on the 360. And honestly, from what I've read from developers and stuff like that, it doesn't really give you a visual advantage in terms of what the product looks like on the screen when they develop a game. Also, too, the online store is good. They improved it a lot, and I like it, but it's kind of clunky. And one thing that drives me nuts is that when you download a demo, you have to install the demo afterwards, whereas when you download a demo on Xbox 360, you could just play it as soon as it downloads, because whatever they're doing with compression and everything, I guess it means be installing it as it's downloading. So you're not going to get that excellent online experience that you get with the Xbox, but still a good machine. Let's go on to the next one. And I'm going to talk about the Wii. Now, when I lived in Poughkeepsie with my ex, I got a Wii because I tried the whole Wii Sports thing. And I thought Wii Sports was the most incredible thing I ever tried. You know, you swing your controller like a racket, it goes like a racket. The boxing game was absolute crack to me when I got that. I was addicted to the boxing game. But the Wii, you know, it's innovative. It's a great machine. but it's kind of like a really hot woman you met in college. She's great to look at, fun to play with, but once she opens her mouth and you realize that she can talk, there's no substance there. The problem with the Wii, and I think it's a mixture of two things, is it gets a lot of shovelware. And one of the things is because of the controller. A lot of times, developers, they're still trying to wrap their mind around the whole, motion thing, and they fail a lot. I mean, unless it's like a really, really well-developed title or a first-party title by Nintendo, a lot of them sucked. The other thing they did, too, that I don't really agree with is they didn't really update the processor or any of the hardware inside of the Wii. I mean, the only thing they really did necessarily is speed up the clock speed of the main CPU. I mean, really, the hardware inside of there is just a GameCube on steroids. And what's happening is that a lot of the blockbuster titles that are coming out for the PS3 and 360 are not going over to the Wii. Or if they are, they're really slipshod ports that look like sloppy PS2 games. And I know Nintendo's whole thing, and they're saying that, hey, we're looking for a different market, so on and so forth. But there just is sometimes that people, when they come home from work, when they're done having a fight with their wife or their girlfriend or their boyfriend or whatever, that they don't want to sit there and waggle a freaking controller around in their hands. They want to just play Grand Theft Auto. They want to just play Call of Duty 4, so on and so forth. And I think if they just added a little bit more hardware power, maybe just to get some kind of 720p graphics, maybe like a 7600 GT caliber graphics chip in there, it would have definitely made things a little easier to swallow. And I don't agree with the whole thing on how they're kind of pushing away from the hardcore gamer audience. Yes, it's making them a lot of money now, but I'll tell you one thing. I know a lot of girls that I'm friends with, or family friends, or teeny boppers, or college girls that went out like, oh my god, the Wii thing's so cool, oh my god. And they went out and bought it, and it's collecting dust on their, TV stand. It was a gimmick, they fell into the gimmick, and they bought one. I don't think with the next generation of consoles, people are going to fall for that. They're over it. They're over the whole motion sensor technology thing in terms of it's not exciting anymore. I'm not saying it's a gimmick, but I would say out of the millions upon millions of Wii sold, 40% of them were bought and probably never used. So, online game store with the Wii is cool, but there are definitely some things they could have improved with it, and there's a lot of shovelware for the console. I mean, yes, there's a lot of great titles out there too. I do know that I've tried them, I played them, I loved them. But, unfortunately, because of the weird place the Wii is in this console, war, it's just kind of like getting a lot of shovelware because people don't really know what the hell to do with it. But moving on.